breaking news coming in, and this is China provoking India again, with China rejecting India's claim to the Shaksgam Valley in Jammu and Kashmir, saying that this is justified in building the infrastructure in Jammu and Kashmir. China is claiming that the Indian territory as their own. This comes after just last week India had given following statement as far as the Shaksgam Valley is concerned, that is an Indian territory, and we have recognized the so-called China-Pakistan boundary agreement signed in 1963. We have consistently maintained that the agreement is illegal and invalid. We also do not recognize the so-called China-Pakistan economic corridor, which passes through Indian territory that is under forcible and illegal occupation of Pakistan. So that is what India's stand has been. In fact, India refuting the claims that have been made, saying that we have consistently protested with the Chinese side against the attempts to alter the ground reality in the Shaksgam Valley, and this is what India had just said last week. Now, China is now saying that they are rejecting India's claim as far as the valley is concerned, and that they are justified in building an infrastructure in Jammu and Kashmir. China is claiming the Indian territory as their own, and this is, of course, India there, making those claims just last week, with China now refuting those claims.
属于中国领土，中方在自己的领土上开展基础设施建设无可非议。中国和巴基斯坦已于上个世纪的60年代签署了边界协定，并且划定了两国的边界，这是中巴作为主权国家的权利。那么你提到中巴经济走廊，这是一个经济合作倡议，旨在促进当地的经济社会发展和改善民生。中巴边界协定和中巴经济走廊不影响中方在克什米尔问题上的立场，中方在这个问题上的立场没有变化。
affect China's position on the Kashmir issue, and China's position remains
下一个问
unchanged
题。
in this regard.
Aditya Rajkal, my colleague, joining us. A very good morning to you, Aditya. Take us through what China is now saying now that India has very categorically, made its stand very, very clear when it comes to the Shaksgam Valley.
Well, yes, this is the Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Mao Ning, in fact, saying that this Shaksgam Valley, which is located in India's Jammu and Kashmir, is in fact Chinese territory. This is a provocative statement. China trying to poke India yet again. The Chinese Foreign Ministry saying that the territory you mentioned belongs to China. It's fully justified for China to conduct infrastructure construction on its own territory. Remember, China is constructing a road from China to Pakistan on the Shaksgam Valley area, which is an Indian territory illegally occupied by both Pakistan and China. And Pakistan had illegally ceded 5,180 square kilometers, the Indian territory in the Shaksgam Valley, to China in 1963 from areas illegally occupied by it as part of an agreement. Now, India has maintained that the Shaksgam Valley is an Indian territory. We have never recognized the so-called China-Pakistan boundary agreement, which was signed in 1963, and we have consistently maintained that the agreement is illegal and invalid. We've also do not recognize the China-Pakistan economic corridor, which passes through Indian territory that is under forcible and illegal occupation of Pakistan. Now, Divya, it's important to mention that this was asked to India's External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Randeep Jaiswal, who said that the entire Union territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh are an integral and inalienable part of India, and this has been clearly conveyed to the Pakistani and the Chinese authorities several times. The Randeep Jaiswal also said that India has consistently protested with the Chinese side against attempts to alter the ground reality in Shaksgam Valley, and India further reserves the right to take necessary measures to safeguard our own interests. What these measures would be, well, we'll have to wait and watch, but doesn't seem like that China is going to change its stance on the boundary question. Of course, with China,
Right,
we
the
have
big
a lot of
question being
difficulty.
here is that the Chinese side is saying that they're justified in building an infrastructure, that too inside J&K.
Well, absolutely. China has been trying to provoke on the boundary question on several times, especially around Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, the Shaksgam Valley and areas around it. And this has been consistently a problematic situation between India, China and Pakistan over the last few decades. This time around, again, we've seen construction activity taking shape over the last many weeks, where China is trying to construct a road between China and Pakistan, and India has very vociferously protested this and said that this is Indian territory. As per the international laws, you cannot have any kind of construction in that area. Now, how India responds, whether diplomatically or militarily, etc., in that particular area, we'll have to wait and watch. But China further stating that this is Chinese territory and we'll continue construction, a major provocation coming in from the Chinese side against India.